Good morning. Today is October 18th and we are back from Anuga, back here in Glen, California, back home in our office, and today we're sitting in our conference room because it rained a little bit last night and we decided to stay inside.
Yes, and it was awesome for the customers and the colleagues that were able to see in Anuga, and even though a lot of people didn't travel for the event and it wasn't as well attended as previous years, the one thing that we had was an opportunity to really sit down and spend more time with the people that were there. And I think that gave us a lot of valuable information and insight onto the current market.
Yeah, it was nice to have real time to sit down, talk with people who we haven't seen in a while, and people we've never met before. So it was good quality time, I'd say, at the show, and a lot of feedback from the market as well. So we're excited to be back and be able to get a look at the new crop coming in and the fresh shipment report we just got.
Correct. And one thing we did learn, what I found interesting is, there was rumblings about how slow the market was to start off this year, given that we had moved so much of last year's record crop. And of course, we heard across the board, your prices are too high. And we understand that they're much higher than last year. But if you take a 5-year median, we're probably right within that range where we should to be. We're not as high as we've been historically. We're not as low as we've been historically. But I think one of the insults to the pricing right now is freight. Freight has doubled and tripled and continues to move upward. And it's really causing delivered pricing to look unfavorable for U.S. walnuts.
Yeah. And not only are the costs going up, but of course we have the delayed shipments, the rolled bookings, the cancellations, and so that also has put an effect on our shipments, and what we're probably going to see as far as demand goes as well.
Yeah, one thing we heard, interestingly enough, was that India's expected to make a rebound after Diwali. They have enough stocks to get them through that holiday, and part of that was the shipping delays. As product was delayed in shipment, it was received late, and it was consumed late. So we're seeing a little bit of that right out the gate for certain regions that have had enough carryover from either U.S. product that they've stored or Chilean product that they're still receiving. And despite that pessimistic view, we had a really good shipping report. A lot of areas and regions were up. I mean, the U.S., North America was up slightly in kernels and down in shell, but if you look at the world volume, export was up across the board. So that should continue to increase as we get through our crop.
Yeah, like Amy said, we on the export market we saw about a 50% increase over last year at this time for kernels, and about a 15% on the in-shell side. So despite the slow takeoff of the market this year, we're still seeing record shipments. So that's positive news out the gate, and hopefully that continues on.
I think the next concern for us, and you probably heard this from us a lot, whether it's by email, telephone, or at Anuga, is we keep delaying on offering on our Chandler varieties. One of the reasons Chandler's still harvesting, and we wanted to come home and take a look at that. And I think what we've found is kind of being able to back up why we've been so hesitant to come onto that market.
Right. Looking at crop receipts, for example, this year, as of September 31st, if you compare the total crop we've received to last year, we're about 30% off. So that right there kind of signals maybe there's a lack of supply there coming from the orchards. We haven't had any major delays in harvest. There's been no rain really until this morning, which was minor.
Right.
So we really are behind on volume coming in, which triggers in our minds a thought of this crop's going to truly be short, possibly even shorter than the NAS estimate.
Correct. And of course that's a concern. Then we have to figure out how to allocate the resources that we have. But first we want to make sure we understand what those resources look like. Correct?
Yeah.
And Josh, I think maybe you can probably help our customers who aren't as familiar with harvest understand what we're seeing. So we have a certain amount of pounds that are coming into the facility, but then as we go through those pounds, we have a lot of empty shells that are being blown out. So while it looks like a good amount coming in, we're losing a percentage of that right away before we even start to address color and quality.
Yeah, so not only is the volume down this year, the yields are going to be down. So if you have empty walnuts, no meat inside the shell, then our volume of what we crack open or what we're available to market being reduced as well.
Thank you once again. And we look forward to your questions and inquiries and to a positive 2021 crop.